What's up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Practical Elevate Performance, coming at you live. It's Tuesday. The Jinx is on my lap, being a cute cat. How's it going, everybody? Just checking in with you guys. Gonna go live. Give people a second to tune in if they're gonna tune in. Um, Today, my topic for today is going to be, you can see it in the title, 5 tips to make working out in the morning easier. Because people on Facebook probably can't see Jinx. Here she is. Because a lot of times people are like, man, like I just don't like working out in the mornings, or I'm not really a morning person, or I never have time to work out until the evening, and by the time it's evening, I'm too tired to work out. So, first thing I always say to people is, have you tried working out in the morning? If, you're having a hard time, in the evenings, if you're too tired, if you have a really like labor intensive job or mentally intensive job, like if you're a mom at home or a dad at home, you're watching your kids all day long. By the time finish up your day, the last thing you want to do is work out. That's good. So, the easiest thing to do is work out earlier in the day and in the morning. And if you haven't tried that before, or if you have tried that before, and you're somebody that says, I'm just not a morning person, stop for a second, because I want you to think about this. You're just not a morning person yet. Because like with anything, becoming a morning person is just a skill that, we can all develop. But I figured I would share my 5 tips that I would suggest to any of you that are watching right now, to make it a little bit easier on yourselves, to make you like streamlined for success, in order to make you a better person when it comes to waking up in the mornings, for your workouts. So my first tip in terms of getting up early, in general, and for working out, setting your alarms. Not only setting your alarms, but setting multiple alarms. And when I say multiple alarms, I also want you to put your phone on another part of your room where you literally have to get up and get out of bed to turn it off. Why is that? Well, the hardest battle oftentimes when it comes to waking up in the morning is, getting out of the bed. Everybody like can relate to that. It's like when you're laying in bed and you're just like, I can just fall back asleep. But if you have to get out of bed, it's going to make you way more likely to stay awake, and not sleep in and not hit snooze. Another alternative to that is having there are apps out there that you can download that give you like a really complicated alarm that you have to like solve math problems, or like spell stuff or whatever, or do like a maze or something in order for your phone's alarm to shut off. And what does that do? Makes you think. It kind of like really, really disrupts your sleep. So that way so that way you're more likely to get up. So that's my first tip, is setting, an alarm that's further away from you, or having a more complex alarm, because that's going to, basically, like if you have if one of the other bonus things that going along with that is, if your alarm, which is on your phone, very likely, unless, for whatever reason you have a little box next to your bedside, is that if you put your phone further away, you're going to be less likely to play on it before bed. So you're probably going to get, better sleep. You're probably going to go to bed earlier, like, you should be. And your quality of sleep will probably improve as well, just because you're not getting all that screen light right before you're going to bed. So that is my first tip. My second tip is, in order to help you, make working out easier for you in the morning, is to go to bed and sleep. Like right before you go to sleep with intention. Like, and when I say that, I mean like right before you go to bed, think about what you're going to be doing the next morning. Like, think about what you're going to do as soon as you wake up in the morning. And if you do that as you fall asleep, it's kind of weird. It's a weird thing. But it works, and it works most of the time. Is like, if I go to bed, like, and as I'm going to bed, instead of like, focusing and worrying about all the shit that I have to do, I'll think about, what I'm going to do as soon as I wake up in the morning and why I'm going to do it and what the intention of me waking up is for. Um, and a lot of times, like before I go to bed, I'll just like lay there and I'll like tell myself, I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to sleep, and when we wake up, we're gonna be energized. We're gonna be ready to take on the day. We're gonna be ready to go out and help people and help our clients and everything like that. And so I'll tell myself something along those lines right before I go to bed, and 9 times out of 10, I will wake up in the morning and that's what I'll be thinking about, and it'll be like, all right, and I'll roll out of bed and it's kind of go time. But it can take practice. It's one of those things that can take practice to make that happen. But it's one of those weird things where it's like almost as if when you fall asleep, it's like your brain was just kind of put on pause, and then your mind almost literally picks back up where it left off as soon as you wake up. And so that's something that's helped me. And like I work out every single morning. Like that's become like a staple of like my morning routine, is getting my workouts in the morning. I honestly don't like working out in the evenings just because it's so crucial to my like system and my ritual and everything like that, you know working out in the morning makes my morning. It can make or break my morning. Obviously I can be adaptive, but if I can help it, like working out in the morning is so important to me that for you guys that are watching right now, like when you go to bed, before you go to bed, think, all right, when I wake up, I'm gonna crush my workout tomorrow. That's gonna be what I do. That's like what like my main goal is to get up and freaking get my workout in, so that way I can get my day started and start with a win. So that's something that you guys can tell yourself right before you go to bed. Like think about that, and then the more that you do that, like, and you get in the habit of doing that, like going to bed with like intention and going to bed like with intentional thoughts of thinking about certain things. That's what a lot of people do. That's what a lot of like a lot of successful people do, especially like in the business realm. A lot of you'll see like CEOs and things like that. That's something that they'll talk about, that they do. They'll go to bed thinking about the checklist of things that they didn't get done, but that they need to get done the next day, and that way their brain's already like primed to make sure that they get those things done. So that is tip number 2: is going to bed with like intentional thought, and that way you're more likely to wake up with intentional thought. So it's not that much of like a groggy drag to get to the gym. So tip number 2. Now, tip number 3. This is one of my favorite ones, and this is one of the ones that helped me a ton when I was working, my regular like 9 to 5 kind of jobs, where I had to get up, or if I had to like, make a big long drive in the morning, like when I was working in Florida, I had, like a 45-minute commute in the morning, and if I didn't get up at like 6 a.m. every day when I was doing that, I was going to have like an hour and a half commute to my job. Not fun. So I, to make sure that I could get up early and make sure that I could get my gym time in the morning for my job, I would lay out sometimes, most of the time I would lay out my clothes like before you go to bed. It's like packing your lunch before you go to like before like the night before. Like lay out your clothes that you're going to wear and pack your work clothes or whatever it is in your gym bag and have your workout clothes laid out, so that way you don't have to like wake up and spend like 5 to 10 minutes like with like groggy eyes, like trying to like find like your shirt, like, or your like tank top or shorts or whatever in your closet when the lights are off, trying not to wake up your significant other if you have one. Like nobody do yourself and do your like your partner a favor, and lay your workout clothes out before, because then you don't, it's just one more step that you don't have to take to think about things to get your butt to the gym. And just streamlining that makes it way easier on yourself, and makes you less likely to like not do it. So laying out your gym clothes the night before, big helpful like thing that I still do, even though like I don't have to like, I don't necessarily have to like, be anywhere specific really, really quickly or anything like that in the morning anymore. But I just like doing it because it saves me time. And yeah, it makes my morning a lot more enjoyable. The other thing too is if you don't wear anything like too crazy, like hot or heavy or like tight or weird or whatever, like you can just sleep in your gym clothes. I mean, why not? If they're comfy, you can just sleep in your gym clothes, and then literally all you have to do is roll out of bed and then go brush your teeth, and then you're, good to go pretty much. So that's the other thing. Don't wear your shoes in bed though. That's weird. Don't be a weirdo and wear shoes in bed. And so that's disgusting. Um, so that's tip number three. My fourth tip for you guys is like I kind of mentioned it actually earlier is like the night before, like pack your breakfast or like your lunch or like pre-workout or whatever it may be. Like kind of goes along with like the clothing option or the clothing tip that I just gave is just do that like the night before slash meal prep the weekend before. So that way your meals are pre-made. All you have to do is wake up in the morning. Like you see where I'm getting here is like streamlining like your morning, so that way you can like make your gym time like getting to the gym a lot more smoother and a lot easier on you, and so you don't have to think about it as much. Is planning like you should like it makes it a lot easier on you in general, anyways. But like meal prepping on the weekends and having your meal prep containers how nice does it sound to just roll out of bed already in your clothes or with your clothes there, put them on, you grab your gym bag that's already been packed the night before, you go to your fridge, you pull something out of the fridge, stick it in your bag, and you're good to go. Like think about how much time that would save you in the mornings. Or just making it like kind of like the night before, like your breakfast and lunch sort of thing. And that's something that I would do all the time too. It's something that, if a lot of your moms or dads or whatever would like, do that for you when you were in school, they would make it the night before for you so they wouldn't have to get up and do it for you in the mornings if, they were nice enough to make you like lunch if you were like when you were a little kid. So basically the same thing. Be your own parent basically and take care of yourself so that way your groggy little childhood like, self in the morning can like get to school so to speak. So that's my fourth tip. And then my last tip for you guys is, honestly, just like start waking up like 15 to 30 minutes earlier and going to bed like 15 minutes to 30 minutes earlier each night and slowly transition yourself to getting up earlier and earlier so you don't feel like ass when you try and like go from like sleeping in until like 8 or 9 a.m. to like waking up at like 5 a.m. Like your body's not gonna like that. Like your body's not gonna like that. You're not gonna like that. You're gonna feel like crap. Like you're gonna feel really crappy probably because you're just taking your body like from what it's used to with your like current sleep cycle, and you're just like all right, I'm just gonna shift it over this way really quick. And like obviously you're gonna feel kind of like crap. You can do that if you're fine with that. You can try it, but you're gonna be way more likely to be like, I'm not a morning person. This sucks. And don't do that. Like, don't. You can slowly transition yourself to like being like more of a morning person by incrementally waking up a little bit earlier and going to bed just a little bit earlier. So that way, slowly over time, it's not like it's kind of like it's a very sustainable way of going about like prepping yourself to for success when it comes to like getting up earlier so you can go to the gym and making sure you have enough time for like your morning routine or ritual or whatever. So yeah, make sure you're going to bed earlier and make sure you're getting up earlier so that way you have more time to do it. But also don't go like 0 to 100 when you're trying to do it because you're probably going to set yourself up to like fail at it a lot more likely. So hope this helps everybody. This was my live for today. It's Tuesday. Those are my 5 tips on how to make working out in the morning easier. I follow pretty much all of those. You know, especially if I'm, kind of not feeling super like I'm probably going to get up in the morning like easily. I will specifically set my alarm, plug it in the wall, and like move it out of reach on the floor so that way I have to get out of my bed, which is like off the ground pretty high, to turn it off. Yeah, that's my life for today. If you got value out of this video, hit me with that like. Tell me if you watch this at a later time, hashtag replay. Let me know what your number one takeaway was in the comments down below. I appreciate the heck out of all of you. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Got a lot of big things coming in the near future. So looking forward to sharing all that with everybody. And yeah, have a good rest of your day. Talk to you later. See you later, Facebook.